What's up, guys? Today I'm going to run a website through the access scan accessibility checker and kind of see what happens. So I'm going to test out the Amazon website and see if their website is accessible or not, and kind of see what comes up in the checker and talk about it, and maybe talk about some things they could do differently and overall best practices for website accessibility. So let's go ahead and get into it. Being Amazon, they probably have people helping them with accessibility and probably reviewing and tweaking this stuff all the time to make sure it is accessible. Oh, well, maybe not. It says non-compliant, but let's see what specifically is coming up here. Elements is bug. So it looks like they came up good on most of the settings. Not sure what exactly. I think it's looking like they're using heading tags, but using smaller heading tags without having larger heading tags as well. I'm not really sure. It's hard to see without digging into the code of the whole page, but I mean, there's more that they can do here, of course, but I think in general, it's passing for most, like color contrast, font sizing, and spacing, and that sort of thing. It looks like they've done okay on. Let's check out the actual website and see what we can see. So, I mean, there is a lot going on Amazon in general, so this is kind of chaotic. It's looking like, let's see. I was wondering if this text is on the graphic or on top of it. Yeah, it's on top. So this is one thing that I see a lot that could be fixed on a lot of sites. So flattening text onto a graphic, like a banner like this, is kind of a no-no, because if someone is visually impaired and they're using a screen reader or some other sort of technology, the screen reader has no way of picking up on this text because it's embedded in the image. If it's actual text on the website like this, where you can actually highlight it, copy it, paste it, or any of that, then the screen reader can pick up on it and it will actually read out this Celebrate Earth Month. It will read that out to the person. But this shop gifts for mom and from kids wouldn't be caught by the screen reader, so there would be kind of no context there for the person to be able to even think about reading this text. So that's one thing that I see a lot that could be improved. I mean, I get why they're doing it, because from a design standpoint, it's nice and clean and it fits onto the image well. And from a development and just, I'm sure they're constantly updating this page standpoint, it is way easier to just slap some text on a banner image that you already have the banner sized, and you just kind of like place the products where you want, place the text in the background, colors where you want, call it a day, upload it to the website, and it's always going to kind of look good. But when it comes to accessibility, that's not really going to fly. So that's one thing that I would personally change. Otherwise, I mean, the site is structured pretty nicely. I'm not sure, without actually doing a full-on screen reader test, how it would actually read through this. I'm assuming it would kind of go left to right and read through these boxes and then down to the rest of it, and it would just kind of read out the heading first, and then it would try to describe the image. And this is another important point. The only way that it can do that is if you have alt text on your images. So alt text is something that you manually type out and attach to the image that says, like, for this one, it would be like, woman in a blue and white dress stands in front of a white wrinkled backdrop. Something along those lines. It could probably be more detailed than that, but that's the alt text that you'd put in, and then the screen reader would be able to pick up on that, and that's what it would read out loud to a visually impaired person, so they can understand the context of like what they're actually looking for and what's on the page, essentially. So that's important as well. I'm gonna try to see if this has alt text. Yeah, alt text, also terrible. So I'm personally docking them for that. So on their alt text for this image, it says, shop designer dresses for spring, period. That's it. Which is basically already what this heading says. So for one, it's redundant. And for two, that does not describe this image at all whatsoever. So Amazon, get your crap together. Let's check out some of these other ones and see what they say. This purses. Yeah, same thing. The alt text is shop designer handbags in luxury stores at Amazon Fashion, which is a combination of this heading and this link. So you're just repeating text for no reason and also not describing the image. They could also work to their own favor here with keywords for SEO. So if they are trying to hit, I mean, it's not like they need any more publicity or traffic, but if they wanted to generate some more and they actually described this dress and these handbags and these shoes and things in more detail, that would actually help people find them both on their website and also through Google. So if somebody's searching, let's say, blue and white floral designer dress, blah, 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 whatever, you could go more specific in terms of the style, the brand, all that stuff. And then those keywords are searchable through Google. So that would actually help their traffic as well if they updated these. So not even just helping people with disabilities, but also helping the SEO and search side of things if they get more descriptive with these images. But yeah, that's kind of surprising to me. What's also weird is, and I think this may be the issue, where did that go? Here about the failed text hierarchy might have something to do with this. So they have, like, all of these headings are H2, as you can see over here, which is fine, but there's no H1 tag before it. So typically the best practice for every page on a site is to have one H1, and that's like the most important text on the page. So as a bad example, it could be Amazon, the place where you buy everything, or something like that, that's like really general about the whole page. And it looks like they don't even have an H1 because there's nothing above this section, because like I said, all this text is flattened into banner images. So I'm thinking that's probably part of the reason for the title tag issue. Let's see what some of these other elements are. So that one's just a plain link. Not these guys. These are probably just plain links too. Yeah. Check out this one. H2s as well. I guess all these are H2s, which is like having a bazillion of them on this page. It's literally all H2s and A tags for links, and that's it. Let's see what this one is. So, yeah, this is just a div text in it. It's not even labeled as paragraph text or anything, so that's also strange. I mean, I don't think Amazon really cares about any of this stuff, and I'm just talking to myself at this point, but it is interesting that they've kind of half-assed, if you will, some of these elements. So here, I'm looking at this Mrs. Myers image, the alt text. This one's actually decent. It says, a trio of Mrs. Myers cleaning products on a mint green background. And that's what I was talking about earlier. That's what your alt text should be like. That's descriptive, and it tells you what is in the image. It gives you context. And, like I said, also helps with SEO if somebody's searching for Mrs. Myers products. Just for shits and giggles, look at a couple more of these images. Yeah, another crappy one. Image of, I'm assuming this is an Acura with the emblem taken off, car with the landscape in the background. Literally just says auto parts that fit, which is the same thing as this heading here, so incredibly redundant. Picture for a second that you're a disabled person who maybe is blind, or maybe just has blurred vision, or can see out of maybe one eye but not both, or has some form of color blindness, or any myriad of other issues, and you're trying to navigate the Amazon website to find some particular thing that you need to buy, and you're scanning through your screen reader is reading out loud to you of these different sections of the homepage on the Amazon site. And so it's just going to be repeating the same shit over and over. So like this one, it's going to go heading, auto parts that fit, and then image, auto parts that fit, and then shop car products. That's not descriptive at all, and it's also incredibly redundant to just be repeating the same copy. This one is the same. Step up your game. Same as the heading. Same DIY in a weekend. So far, out of all the ones I've clicked on this page, this Mrs. Myers one is the only one that has appropriate alt text. Here's another good one. So these weights, it says Amazon Basics neoprene coated hexagon workout dumbbell hand weight set. That's super detailed. Give or take a few words there, but it could be more descriptive and say the color and also that they're 10-pound weights instead of just a general. I'm assuming that's what the product title is, so it's just copying that. Yeah, just copying the product title, which again is also redundant, because if they come to this page, it's going to say that, and then it's going to say it again as soon as it goes to the image, so that's not helping anybody. Let's try a few more, and then I'll be done with my ranting for today. Yeah, this looks like the same situation. Yep, just using the product title as the alt text. So yeah, I guess my recommendations for improving accessibility would be alt text would be number one, getting detailed alt text on all of these images for all the products, as well as the banners. I don't think I looked at one of these, did I? Let's see what this one says. So this one does have good alt text, because the flattened text on the banner is actually the alt text in this case. So it says home security at your fingertips. So that's good. Oh, it also says works with Alexa. That's good, because then it would read that out loud to somebody. So they did a good job there. But yeah, correcting some alt text, also correcting some heading styles and whatnot. So adding an H1, maybe adding more variety of heading tags in general, because all of these throughout the page are H2s. You can mix it up with some H3s and H4s and different sizes, and maybe hierarchy of the sizes of the boxes too, because this is kind of overwhelming. They're all about the same size and layout, so it's just kind of like product dump of information. It would be kind of nice if some of them were a little bit larger. Like, let's say this designer dresses block was like taking up 50% instead of just a quarter piece, or if it was even like 75%, and then we had this like 25% column here, something like that, just to spice up the layout, make it a little bit more asymmetrical and prioritize like certain products or categories that they're trying to feature instead of having them all pretty much the same size and weight. And maybe adding some paragraph text that's a little bit more descriptive about each of these sections. Maybe also reconfiguring some of these other sections, so like paragraph text here, adding some headings and stuff, updating these to be like H6s or something. They're just plain text. I mean, this whole footer is just pure chaos, but I mean, I get why they're doing it like that, but wouldn't be my first choice of design, probably. Anyway, yeah, I think that was an interesting experiment, and hopefully that was interesting to you guys and you learned something about accessibility today. So I will see you guys next time, and stay tuned for the next video.